You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the
Hey everybody, and welcome to the show. My name's Dave, and this is a Fistful of Podcasts from FFOPradio.com. Back for another great week. Let me introduce you not to my usual co-host. We got something to change up the schedule. We have a special guest. We have a musician. Musicians are my hot thing right now, so of course I got another one. But the caveat here is, my man is local, so please help me in welcoming Yattering. Yattering, thanks for coming on the show, man.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me. I'm super stoked to be here.
So first of all, let's break it down to all the nuts and bolts. So everybody, maybe not everybody coming to my show is going to be, new to you, but there are going to be some new eyes and ears.
Hell yeah.
Let's start from the beginning. Yattering is obviously your handle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the rap name that I go by.
So first off, do you want to tell everybody your real name just so everybody can be like, hey man, it's me?
Yeah, no, so I go, my name is Christian Ramos. Of course, all of my friends know me as Angel or Chris.
Okay.
So
why Angel?
that's my middle name, and I've been going by that for elementary school. A lot of people were calling me Christina. So I decided to go by Angel, but of course, that wasn't any better in school.
Right.
Whatever. I already changed it one time, so we're not changing it again.
When I was a kid, I feel you there, because I grew up with kids with Christian or Angel in their name, and I always thought Angel was almost like a nickname that they got, but apparently it was just being handed out as is, right? So yours is just your middle name.
Yeah, it was either one of two things. Someone was like, oh, that's a girl's name, or they were like, oh, you're Hispanic. And I was like, well, my last name is Ramos, so that's true.
Got that base covered?
Yeah.
Interesting, man. Okay, so let's get into the handle then. Where does Yattering come from? What's the origin there?
Yeah, so I actually chose that name from a book by Clive Barker. It's called, The Books of Blood.
Okay,
there's a short story in there called The Yattering and Jack. So basically, in the story, there's this demon that's trying to take this human soul because his mother cheated the devil. So the devil's like, I knew this dude's soul,
Yeah.
And at the end of the story, after the demon's trying, and he's obviously failing to get this guy's soul, at the end, the guy actually makes the demon his slave, which is very interesting.
Yeah,
so instead of obtaining, the soul, this guy obtains this demon so that he can have an in hell because he wants to try to take over, or whatever. And I just thought that was really interesting, a twist, because, instead this guy, conjures his demons.
Yeah.
He kind of accepts it in effect and makes it his slave. So I kind of like that, and I wanted to, take that in as I'm someone that I've conquered a lot of my own demons and stuff like that, and now they're my slaves.
Yeah, okay, I get that. Now I've read that book. It's been a while, obviously. So my next question to you then, obviously after that, is: are you a horror fan, or rather, a horror fiction fan, writing?
Oh,
rather?
Yeah, absolutely. I love horror so much. I've just grown up watching horror movies. The first book I ever got was actually Stephen King, Needful Things. That was one of the first adult books I ever got when I was in elementary school. My stepmom Lisa gave it to me. I loved it. It was amazing. And before then, my grandma was always watching the X-Files when I was living with her when I was 4 and 5. So
let me ask you this then: have you read any? My personal favorite genre is horror. Have you read any H.P. Lovecraft?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm a huge, big fan of cosmic horror. If you like H.P. Lovecraft, man, there's this movie you should watch called The Void. It's amazing.
The Void? I have not... Okay, so I've heard almost every... Or I've heard of, rather, I should say, every Lovecraftian depiction out there, and that one has escaped me. So what's up with that?
Oh, dude, it's this. I think it came out in 2018, like 2019, like around there. But it's a newer movie, but they did practical effects, so it has this like 80s movie feel, and it's like body horror.
Okay, yeah. I like that.
Yeah, but basically what happened, it's like in this hospital too, with a cop, and there's all these patients, and there's like this fucking crazy. I don't want to give it away for you. You're gonna have to watch it, man.
Okay, yeah, all right. That's interesting. I don't often run into other horror fans of this ilk organically.
It's got this, like, kind of The Thing feel, too. You like The Thing by John Carpenter?
Yeah. That's one of the things I was going to mention, too, is, like, that's very Lovecraftian. But the one thing, this will be a deep pull. If you know what I'm talking about, this will be a whole new level of respect. But have you seen the picture Dagon?
No, I have not.
Okay, so Dagon is I want to say it was Gordon who directed it, the same guy who did Reanimator.
Oh, okay.
So it's basically Lovecraft's Shadow over Innsmouth, but they changed the name, and instead of Innsmouth, it happens in some crazy place in Spain.
I'm gonna have to watch this now.
It's maybe...
Because I love Lovecraft movies or like adaptations, like especially like really good ones. And since you're obviously a fan, I'm gonna have to be checking this out.
This one is probably, like, don't get me wrong, not very many of them are good, and this is probably the single most interesting and or authentic one I've ever seen. The budget's still low though, so don't get your hopes high.
Did it come out in 2001?
Probably. Yeah, probably. I feel like it's a sci-fi original. I have that feeling in my head, but I don't think that's the right producers.
That's all right. Some of sci-fi stuff is like actually really good.
Some back in the day. I think I've got this one on DVD, but yeah, check that out when you get a chance.
Yeah.
But enough about that. Let's talk about the music, man. Let's talk about the music. I didn't mean to pull you off the course.
No, it's all good, man. Dude, horror is amazing, and I do include a lot of that into my writing, so it's all relevant. Oh yeah,
I did notice that. Yes. Okay. So yeah, I did notice that. And I feel like, the rap is an interesting genre because I think it's finally getting the attention of how diverse it is now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's so many different types now. Not just there's like the, mumble rap, and a lot of people are into that, and what people call like trap rap, and I guess I would make some of that, but there's so many different types now.
So let me ask you, like, if let's say you have to describe your style of music to someone, they're say, whatever, give me a genre you are. How would you describe your own music?
See, I think of myself as like a hip hop artist.
Okay.
But I like to infuse a lot of like heavier elements such as like punk or like any heavy metal. Like I like to do a lot of screams in my music.
Okay.
And so maybe like more like a rapcore.
Yeah,
but I definitely try to make it a little bit more different and unique.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to stand out now, man, because everybody, everybody is flourishing, and now that the internet's a thing, and now not only the internet, but the internet was like a gateway. Like I hate, maybe you're my age or around my age, I don't know, but I feel like when the internet first started, it was like, now we have the internet, you can do anything, which was bullshit. We needed all these rich assholes to give us all these sites to make it easy to do shit.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I couldn't do jack shit. Now with Amazon and all this other stuff, I can set up a whole home studio like this.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm talking to you right from my home right now, so
Yeah, my studio is in my home. It's incredible. Like that's the thing. It's easier now to not only get the equipment, the gear you need, but it's easier to share it too. Because like, let's say back in the day, before Facebook, before MySpace, even, and we all had GeoCities sites.
yeah.
How would you get? How were you spreading the word back then, man?
I know people were like going out. I mean, they still do this, but there's people at gas stations or at the store, and they're like, "Oh, hey, buy my CD right here. I got like this hip hop song. Like you should listen to it.
Yeah.
But it's $10 if that's cool."
Yeah, I've met many a man who has hit me up in a similar situation.
It's cool though, people. That's how I guess people back in the day used to try to make it work. And there was a lot of people out there. I guess they just traveled more. They were out there more trying to get it, and now it's more accessible. In our homes, and for us to go out and be able to get things. I mean, we can just order something online and get it sent to our house.
Yeah, I remember. Obviously, you are probably feeling this too. But let's say 10 years ago, you wanted to record some music in your home. Let's say not even the technology to get it to you. Like there's no Amazon, but you would have to buy real pro gear. There wasn't anything aimed at people like you or me who were trying to break in.
Yeah, that's true. It's intense how people used to have to record.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Like I've always said, one of my things that I do is photography, and if I had to get in when it was still film, and that pain in the ass never would have happened.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit.
but that's just the same side of or rather different side of the same coin, because whereas you used to be out pounding the pavement and handing out cassettes or whatever, CDs or flyers for your shows, I feel like you're still doing the same thing. You're just behind a computer. You're just behind a screen. So you're saving gas, but you're still having the same pain in your ass having to self-promote.
Oh, I mean, it's a lot of work for sure. I mean, I'm not super huge right now, but a lot of it definitely is trying to promote yourself, getting yourself out there, following different artists, and then basically building a fan base based upon all of these other artists that you're following that make the same type of music as you do, and that's awesome. And I mean, and it's like you said, really just trying to get out there as much as you can, but make yourself noticeable. I mean, you're having to post basically every single day. If you really want to blow up, I mean, you got to make sure that it's basically a full-time job for yourself.
Yeah,
and you have
kidding.
multiple platforms of where you're doing music. I got my stuff up on SoundCloud and YouTube right now, but I'm going to be up on Spotify soon, just because that's where all the traffic is as far as the audience and stuff.
So you're the one driving this. You're the one behind all of this. What is your go-to? Number one, how do you feel about promoting yourself all the time? Because I feel like self-promotion, at least for me, makes me feel uncomfortable because I'm not really interested in telling people how great I am at anything. So that's the first one. The second one, where are you going the most, or where do you feel like is the best place for your specific community?
I mean, self-promoting. So, right now, I'm wearing my shirt that I made because I just got a bunch of merch made. And of course, for everyone who's listening, the link's in my bio on my Instagram. So
I'm wearing a gator cloth rag around my neck right now with my own logo on it. So I feel you, man.
Hell yeah, dude. I mean, but I like to wear that stuff out in public just because and anyone can ask what it is. Like the other day, I was at work, okay, and there was this guy I don't really ever talk to, and I was just wearing my shirt and my hat with my Yattering logo on it, and he came up and he was like, "Oh, hey, dude, so I've been meaning to ask you, but what's the hat and the shirt about?" And I was like, oh, dude, this is my stuff. Like, this is my merch. And he's like, oh, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I make music, man. And he's like, no way. So I like was showing him my music, and he started listening to it more, and he came up to me and he's like, dude, we should try to make a song or something like that. And I was like, absolutely, if you want to. Because I mean, it's, anyone that wants to try to make a song, I mean, I'm always open to collaborating.
Yeah, like you're doing it for the sake of the art, which I respect more than anything. Like that's what people forget, and or they never had it. When they get big, or if they get big, or maybe just sometimes because people are assholes, they don't want to work with other people, but simply because it would be a cool thing to do, and the thing you made would probably be cool.
Yeah, I feel like that even right now. I mean, not being like super big like Eminem or Logic or even some underground artists like J. Kill, but I'll put out a song, right? And as soon as I put out a song, someone will hit me up and be like, oh, dude, do you want to promote this? And you got to pay me about $100 and something. And I'll like look on their profile, and they have all these like bots that are following them. And it's just like, so I'm going to pay you for basically nothing, for being no one. When I would rather pay like an underground artist that I respect, because that's how you grow, is you reach out to other artists and let them know who you are, so that they can help you grow as well, or if someone wants to make a song with you, that fan base can become your fan base. So I mean, you can't just shut that down or try to charge someone like a ridiculous amount of money, because you have no idea what you're going to be giving up for something that's material. I mean, at the end of the day, we all want money, but it's a provision. It's materialistic, I mean, growing and putting in an investment into your future self is more important.
Well, so let me ask you this. Speaking about money and everything, I assume, like the rest of us, you still got a day job out there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, right now I'm working for like a CBD company. I was working at a dispensary down here in Arizona. Yeah,
so let me ask you this. Are you like making your music and I feel like everybody who makes art has this feeling, and are you worried that the people you work with will find it and judge it and be like, or like your boss gets a hold of it? Because I'm always worried that someone I know is actually going to listen to this show and I'll be like totally embarrassed or whatever. So like, are like the people you're closest to, because I like promoting it is one thing, but the people you work with, I feel like there's always a separation. Is that there for you?
When I was working at the dispensary, not at all. I was super open about my music. I used to tell people all of the time, even like patients coming in, because some of those people were making music themselves, or were really interested into some of my music. Like, for example, one of this... I'm so sorry. I'm forgetting his name. Sorry, buddy, if you're listening to this right now. But there was this guy that was coming in, and he started listening to my music, and he's a big supporter now. And that was just someone that came in from a place that I worked at. So. And then one of the managers heard me making music, and she started making music as well. She goes by Dusty. So and I've made lots of songs with her, and now, like I said, one of the guys I'm at work asked me about my shirt and the merch, and I was super open about it, just because right now I want anyone to be able to listen to my music,
totally.
you know? Because these places, I mean, I work at them, but to me, it's always going to be temporary, because I got something bigger that I'm trying to, you know, achieve for. So all of these people that I talk to and meet along the way could be, you know, prospective listeners or fans, and help me get up my, you know, listens right now and my plays, and I'm always like super. I just love when anyone listens to my music. So
very cool. Well, speaking of, tell you what, let's take a break and listen to a track of yours. So coming up first, the cut is called Dreamy 88. Now, do you want to give us a little bit of backstory about this track before we go to it?
Yeah, so I actually made this song with my wife, and I wanted to make something a little bit more like hip-hoppy instead of really yelly and metal, something more like R&B. And my wife has like an amazing voice. I mean, honestly, that's kind of like the reason why I married her.
I do like this track.
She's a better artist than me, yeah. Anytime she sings on a song, it always comes out really good just because she's on it. She kills the song. And I love it because in this song, I actually made, instead of a hook, I made like a chant, because I love chants in metal songs and like heavier songs and stuff like that. So I wanted to put like a chant in a rap song, because I had never really heard that before.
All right, man. All right, well, let's take a listen. This is Dreamy 88.
With the smoke rolling off my tongue, I'm trying to figure out where I belong. Never really knowing where they were wrong, or if it was me who left everyone. Trying to take a hit of where I'm from, thinking you'll be there through it all. So hold me like you'll be there all along, but dreams never turn out the way you paint.
I'll admit it, I've always been the first to say that I'm done. It's hard to talk when you're breaking away, leaving me at the bottom of the line, choking up to the great bait, always stumbling behind someone else's shadow. Try not to be so down and faithless, rapping like I'm headed straight to the top and checking bookies on my way out to the races. Finally got that cash flow, didn't mean shit though, working 9 to 11 just to get stressed out and left out, and feeling like I'm the one that lets you down, even though I'm the one that's tired of fucking around, stumbling endlessly in this fucked up town. But my mom's always told me I'd be the one to come up top. Now I'm struggling to make sure I don't flop it or pick it up before you miss the drop. That's just the way my life seems to go, always having to prove to my friends that I'm the one that can pick up the flow. Better go, that's always been me, stuck in a dream that I haven't lived in, too busy fucking the past and drinking away the day, telling everyone I had a blast. I know it won't last, that's why I used to call my friends and ask them to put me in a cast. But I've grown from that, trying to show everyone that I am ready for the bat. Put me to play, all streets not late, I'm not even asking to cut me a new slate. Don't even stress, life's not testing the way I see it, we've all been a mess. If I could take it easy, believe me, I wish I could. My dad told me I'd die of heart failure. Go knock on wood, out of everything I stood for, I'd rather die of truth. I don't say I love myself, do you think I could?
When will things just turn out right? Trying to keep my head above the surface. Sometimes it feels like to sink further down, hanging on to what I thought was a home. You said you would always be there for me, but I'm the one who left you alone. I made us stuck in an endless stream. Now nothing is
we are back. That was Dreamin' 88. We are back again. Obviously, I'm saying it again because we are back with Yattering. More chit chat with him. So let's talk about you and your influences now, Yattering. So if you were going to say, let's say top 3, because I know musicians usually have a huge list.
Oh, damn,
Let's say top 3 influences, or maybe top 5 of all the people and or groups that you were like, these are the reasons I want to get into music.
Definitely my buddy Zach, for sure.
Okay.
I grew up with a bunch of friends that were playing music. I never actually made music when I was a kid. I always had a bunch of friends that would make music, like rock and shit like that. So
sure, yeah.
And I was a writer. Like that's why I love horrors, because I actually like writing like short stories and scripts. I went to school for film.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. So I don't have like a music background, but I like to use. I loved freestyling over beats and stuff like that. So, and my buddy Zach always knew I was into music. So what happened was, he was making songs and he hit me up one day and was like, "Yo, dude, you should come be in the song." And I went over to his house, and honestly, I just did this hook that he wrote.
Okay.
And it turned out like actually really good. Like I loved it. And then I went back over and recorded another song, and this one like I wrote more of myself, which was called Good.
Okay.
And then I went back over and made it a song all on my own, which was 2-minute goodies. And cause he was like, "Yo, dude, make your own song. Don't make a song with me. Like, just write your own song. Here's this beat." And so he really like pushed me to start making music. So I honestly like I really respect him. He's an amazing artist. Anytime he makes a beat or touches his guitar, art is made. So I love this guy.
I'm usually I get like big artists, like commercial artists, but I'm surprised when first one you go to was like a personal friend.
Oh yeah, definitely like an idol of mine, because like I said, he actually pushed me. I really respected all of the music that he would make. I mean, he was in a band called Headlands. But he was like the one person that like really like pushed me, of course, but like besides my wife, she's always been like really supportive. But yeah, I mean, I would go over to his house and make like music and stuff like that. He was when I recorded Finn, my first EP. He was the person that produced all of the songs and then mixed and mastered everything, and I recorded everything at his house in his home studio.
Well, so let me ask you this: what type of music is he into? Is he into hip hop as well? You said guitar, so is he a rock guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
He loves rock. He just loves rock. Definitely a heavy metal fan for sure, like punk. But we do definitely listen to a lot of rap. We like. He likes a lot of stuff like, the Suicide Boys. He showed me Ghost Main. And there's a lot of other like rap that he likes, but if it's good music, he's gonna listen to it. So, and that's kind of the way that I am too. Anything that's like good, I like. There's even a lot of country songs that I like just because like they're good songs. I mean, you know.
There are groups out there and or artists out there that I love that people would consider country. Like if you want to go deep on country, there's a band out there. Oh my God, now I'm blanking on it. They sing No Oath, No Spell. Ah, crap. Murder by Death. Murder by Death. There we go. Whew. If you love country, check out Murder by Death.
Murder by Death?
Yeah.
I'm going to check that out.
It's not country, but no oath, no spell. If you not, but here's another precursor. You also have to like semi-depressing shit.
Okay, well that's
So-
I mean I do. Let's just be
That's the
honest.
heart
I
of
mean,
country.
even some of my music is like really sad.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, and that's what that. So that's being a Lovecraft fan, being a horror fan. You'll probably like Murder by Death because a lot of their music is so bleak, and it is. There's a lot of references to Oblivion. So
Okay.
I feel like for a Lovecraft fan, especially like you, who's also into music, this probably be a layup for you, my friend.
Yeah, I'm gonna be checking them out for sure.
Oh, man, so now you piqued my interest back there when you said film. So when you studied film, how far did you take that? And then are we integrating that with your music career to shoot like music videos and stuff?
Yeah, so a lot of the reason why I wanted to start getting more serious with writing music was because I was having a hard time finishing a lot of my scripts or stories that I was writing. So when I started making music with my buddy Zach, I was like finishing my writing and I was like, okay, I like doing this and I'm writing more and I'm actually being able to listen to a finished project. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to start writing music and I'll just film some of my own like music videos and shoot some of my own pictures and try to edit it and incorporate that as much as I can, so I'm still like having that creativity in film and stuff like that. And then whenever I go up to people, I could have something to show them, like, oh hey, I filmed this and it's my own music and everything else. So
when you were studying film, what aspect are we talking about? Like behind the scenes, because you keep mentioning your scripts. Did you go for writing?
Yeah, so
for that sort of stuff.
Yeah, because when I was a kid, I loved writing. So I got into film because I wanted to screenwrite as well as direct my own movies. My biggest influence was honestly. So this goes back to the question that you asked me. Honestly, one of my other influences is Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino cannot talk right now. Ridiculous. Quentin Tarantino. I love that guy.
Very very polarizing figure, and some I listen to and enjoy a lot of movie related like review and content sort of stuff too, and he is one of these guys who is definitely one of the few left who has his own distinct flavor. Like he is an auteur, he is a filmmaker, if you like him or not.
Yeah,
you know, a Tarantino movie.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I made a song called Tarantino, and it was like kind of based on my love of cinema and movies and just like, different types of like pulp fictions and stuff like that. Right.
So that leads me to the next question is, have you shot anything recently, for like, do you have any new like music videos you're going to be releasing soon or in the works?
No, I gotta get that going. Honestly, I filmed two. So the song that we just listened to, Dreamy 88, I actually filmed something for that, like up in the snow, and it's awesome. But I was editing it all on my Mac, and my Mac just like it fucking shut down. It just took a poop on me for sure. And that had a lot of my a lot of my film stuff on there that I lost, so it really sucked. And then even one of the other songs that we're going to be listening to, Goldface Killer, I had a music video for that we shot in my buddy's studio because I wanted to kind of do this whole thing of like, this is where we came up from, this is where we made music, you know, like in the studio that he made in his room. And because I was proud of it, and lost all of that.
That sucks. So let me ask you this then: when you're on set or whatever, when you basically what I'm getting at is like, are you a gearhead? Like, are you into the cameras and into the gear of everything, or are you basically the director planning the shots and everything like that? Or maybe it's both, because you can be a gearhead and be a director.
So I used to know a lot more of like the camera mechanics. I stopped. You know, once you stop doing something for a while, you kind of like lose that. So I got a camera recently, and I've been messing with it so I can get like more professional shots going.
But you can see like what you want in your head right now, right?
Oh, yeah. So that's kind of like, so anytime I like write something out, I always think about the shot that I want. So I always want to be able to see behind the camera. I'm going to be that eye behind the camera for sure.
Yeah.
Kind of tell someone where else to go and, you know, definitely can control how everything is shot. That's the role I would take on as when I'm like whenever I'm directing something, for sure.
Okay,
like
totally.
When I was doing like Dreamy 88, my sister was behind the camera because she had like a really good camera that she knew how to use. So we were using that, but of course I was like, hey, I want this shot and I want this angle and get this close and like walk up, you know, about here and stay behind me about this pace. So yeah.
Okay, so you're more the director, less the cinematographer.
Yes.
Okay, I get that, because that's the thing. When everybody thinks of like going to like film school or whatnot, they're thinking maybe, you know, you're getting hit up big or you're getting swallowed up by the gear. Like, I'm a gear nerd, so that's why I have to ask.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, you're you know, I get that too, because I've got the gear but not the wherewithal to make the shots.
Yeah, no,
So,
I feel ya.
I get that, and I think that's super cool, because like having that scene in your head and being able to just sort of like put it together must be super, especially like if you're working on your own music video. Like that probably is the culmination of basically all the art forms outstanding right now, because you can use still photography and your music and videography. And oh my god, like that's another thing, man. If you get into it, you can go in so deep, you'll go insane.
Oh, I know. I mean, there's so much you can just do. It's just so intense. I mean, even now, just with your phone, you know, I mean, you can make a movie. It's intense.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. And that's the thing. Now that it's getting so easy, and maybe I want to get your opinion. I obviously want to get your opinion on this as well. But now that literally the technology is being put in every hand in America, every hand on this, you know, planet, just about after a certain age, has a high definition camera with a reasonable microphone. Like, you really could, if you wanted to, shoot a terrible sounding but interesting looking movie on your phone.
Oh yeah.
Well, so here's the crux of the thing. So now a bunch of people who shouldn't be doing art are doing it because they want to get rich, and that sucks. But also people who never would have had the opportunity, who do have, you know, the mental means, are getting to. My question is it worth the 90% of the shit you got to slog through?
Yeah.
Oh.
God, I mean, there's just, I mean, even now, I can't tell you. There's just so many like 13-year-old like artists out there, like people, you know, that are like super young, like making songs, and I'll like be scrolling through Instagram, and I'll be like trying to follow people, and I'll like look at their page, and I'm just like, whoa, this is a kid. Like, I'm 27. Should I follow this person, or like,
it's mind blowing, man. It's
because you're trying to like market, but it's I mean, anyone, I mean, at any age, I mean, if you got a phone, if you get a mic, you know, you can basically start doing whatever. So, especially if you know, got parents that are gonna help you. So that's cool.
For sure. Yeah. Like, all you would have to do is literally put forth almost any effort, because once they've proven themselves on their phone, like kids are running around with $500 to $1,000 in their pocket.
Yeah.
And like the camera that I do my live, like the camera that I do my live stream with, that is just a camera. That's all it does. It was $400.
Oh my!
And I don't understand how parents can be like, here's $1,000, make sure not to drop it in the toilet. But
my first phone was like a hand-me-down phone, dude, from like my mom, you know.
I had one with buttons. Like, I'm so old, we had buttons and they still flipped, my friend. Like, I had the fucking...
I mean...
LG.
Dude, we had like a fucking Quest service. It was fucking horrible,
Quest. Dude. Qualcomm. Remember Qualcomm? Jesus Christ.
It was fucking horrible.
Tell you what, man, let's hear that second song. You mentioned it before, Goldface Killa. So you want to give us a little background on that before we hear that track?
Yeah, so I made this song with my buddy Zach. You know, we already talked about him, and this song was like, it was half finished when I went to the studio to go record it. And I went up to him and I was like, hey, man, I got this like half-finished song. I'm going to write the hook right now, but I want you to be in the song. And he was like, why? And I was like, dude, because you know what, man? Like, it would just, it would sound good if you were on it. It's about, you know, to me, this is my first EP, so I wanted to make a song that was like, hey, I'm making music, I'm here, this is what I do, and I'm gonna talk shit sometimes, and that's okay, and it's all fun, and I want you to be in this and just kind of let people know what we do and who you are and what you do. And he was down for it. So, yeah.
Here, let me real quick before we go to that track. You know, I want to get your opinion, yes or no. Would you rather have someone tell you something critical about you that might hurt your feelings, but you can learn from, or have them say nothing to you and have them also be a pain in the ass for the rest of your life?
Honestly, man, I'm an honest guy.
Do you want to hear the truth, right?
Yeah, so like I'm an honest guy. I want people to tell me what they think. Like, tell me if the song's not good, like what's not good about it. Because I want to be able to improve. Like, if you don't give me feedback, like even at work, you know, like if I'm busting my ass, but I'm not doing something right, like come up and fucking tell me, like, because I want to be able to do like a good job to the standards. And I mean, let's just be honest, there's standards for whatever we do. I mean, even now, like, if you're not like a big artist, you can make a song and it sounds good, professional, but people are gonna stay like, oh, that could have been mixed better, you know, and you're always just gonna get that, and but trying to listen to that. Here's
what everybody overlooks, I think, is like, a smart man will take in the criticism and find the truth in it and learn from it, and everyone else turns into a whining pussy and goes into the fetal position and says, don't mock my art, or whatever their case may be, they want to cry about.
Because people got thin skin, you know?
Yeah. Like, toughen up, man. People are dicks.
Well, yeah, I mean, dude, like, if you can't take criticism, if you can't take people talking shit about your music or, like, whatever, then don't fucking make music. Like, it's just the bottom line, because no matter what you do, people are always gonna try to give you feedback or criticism, And that's just how it is. I mean, even like one of the other artists I look up to on my Instagram, Downwolf, there's been times he's told me, like, hey, man, like, push harder, you know, like, don't make it sound like you're trying to push too hard. Like, feel the music, like, change your voice, and, like, you know, listen to more, like, metal songs if you need to, and try to make sure that, you know, you're practicing every day with those yells and trying to get them down. And it's like, yeah, like, absolutely. Like, there's been times he's told me, like, a song wasn't good, and it could have been better.
Take,
like,
but
that's
it
all right.
helps. It makes you better.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's hear that track. We'll be back right after this. All right, man, FFOP Radio come back after that track. So, Yattering, let me ask you this. It's hard out there. Everybody wants to give you advice. Everybody wants to give me advice. So now I'm going to ask you for advice. Since everybody's giving it to me, I might as well ask you too. So when you're out there trying to promote yourself, I obviously a show such as myself is going to be a different kettle of fish than like a musician as yourself. But what social media outlets are you using, and what are people like in your community using the most?
Definitely Spotify for sure. Like if Spotify is like big.
But does that count as social media? I'm talking about promotion. Like when you hit the streets, so to say, you go into Twitter, you go into Instagram. Like what's happening?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely doing Instagram a lot more. I was thinking about getting a Facebook just because, like, you gotta promote yourself as much as possible whenever you're small.
That's what I'm saying,
I got
man.
a Twitter, but that's not as big. Like, honestly, I'm horrible at social media, but the Instagram I'm a lot better at. Like, I like doing the stories and letting people know what I'm doing and, like, songs that I'm coming out with, and it's cool. And I can just, like, film fucking movies I'm watching and stuff like that. Like, it's cool.
Yeah. I think the phenomena is like everybody wants to come to me and tell me like, don't use X social media platform because it is dead.
People tell me not to use SoundCloud all the time. Well, like
I
one
feel
of
like
my
a lot of people
producers,
do
like
use it,
Tyler, he well, yeah. I mean, it's free. You know, let's just be honest.
Right,
like it's free to
right.
be able to use, and it's still good. Like it's still there, and I mean, not as much people are on it, but that's okay. Like. I got it. It just depends. Like I got YouTube. YouTube is definitely good for sure for like putting like my music out there, because a lot of people don't have SoundCloud, like the app on their phone, or they're not going to go to like the browser. So it's always a lot better to be able to just like put your music up on YouTube, because everyone uses that all of the time. I mean, everyone's constantly on YouTube.
Well, so let me ask you this. As an artist now, trying to get your stuff out there in front of people and in the ears of everybody you can, is it hard, or do you feel it is harder than it should be with more streaming services? Because, I mean, we got Spotify and like YouTube Music, and there's all kinds of places that can pick up and run your stuff, like iTunes and yada, yada, yada.
Well, It should be easy, right? Because I mean, there's infinite possibilities because of the internet, and you're able to do whatever. And it's such a there's no end to that landscape, right?
Right.
Because there's so many different platforms. But the thing is, it's being on every platform all of the time. It's
rough.
Constantly having to make sure that you are promoting yourself, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, where it's a full-time job. If you can make it a full-time job, if you can make it your life, then absolutely. I mean, that's even when I go out to eat. Like, if I'm getting a beer after recording, I'm gonna take a picture of that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, whatever you're doing, you gotta build an image of yourself. You gotta stay relevant. And if you're not posting, if you're not on those platforms all of the time, then you're not relevant.
Well, so let me ask you this, like when getting sort of back into the nuts and bolts of the music and everything, when you're ready to record a song, let's say, you got the beats and everything, you got all the lyrics, are you going into a studio or do you have a home studio? What's the situation there?
So I'm going to get my own studio soon. I have a kid coming on the way with my lady, so I'm really stoked about that. But I'm gonna have my studio. But right now, I do go record at a studio. The studio is Sunset Studios. So anyone that's on Instagram or a local artist, go check that guy out. Okay, because Sunset Studios is awesome. And then before I was recording at that studio, I was recording with my buddy Zach.
Okay.
And just because, I mean, honestly, he really knows my sound that I'm trying to get, and he can mix me really, really, really well. And then Tyler that runs Sunset, he's just good musically in general. I mean, he makes all different types of beats. So I'm just happy that I was able to find great artists to be able to work with, and go to be able to record at, because my buddy Zach left to Europe after we recorded my EP. So at first I was like, fuck, like I'm not going to be able to make music, but he let me borrow like a lot of his stuff to be able to record, and I was getting like a studio set up, and then that's when I found Sunset. And then when I went there, I was just going there constantly. And
well, so let me ask you this: when you go to Sunset and you get the studio time or whatever, did they just deliver you the raw tracks, like the raw tape, as it were, and you have to edit it yourself, or
no,
do you have someone who does that too?
He mixes all of that.
Okay,
but I mean, I pay for it. Like I pay for the recording, I pay for the mixing and the mastering. So all of this stuff comes out of my own pocket. I mean, that's why I got a job. I got to be able to support myself, my wife, my kid that I have coming. But I still want to be able to make music, because ultimately, this is what I love to be able to do. I love to be able to create. And at the end of the day, you should never sacrifice what you love for anything ever. And so I use making money and working a hard job, that, I don't even really like, to be able to do what I love. So at the end of the day, like, to me, I'm cool with all of it. So in
a perfect world, let's say, where you've got the money, the time, the expertise, do you want to be that guy who controls his music from the front to the back end? Like, do you want to do your own mixing and mastering? Like, do you want to get into that, or are you just fine being the artist behind the microphone?
I mean, it's easier being the artist behind the microphone, but honestly, I want to be able to like learn everything, because like that's art. Like, even when I was doing writing, right? Like, I love horror, but I would try to write love stories, or I started writing poetry, and I started writing, like, rap songs and other types of music, because, like, if you're just focusing on one aspect of something, then, like, yeah, you're gonna master that, but it's nice to be able to say, hey, I know everything, or I know the aspect of everything. Like, I want to be able to mix and master my own songs, so that, like, if I go record, like, with a big producer, I want to be able to know, like, what he's fucking talking about, Like, I don't want to just be, like, left in the dark, and I want to be able to, like, contribute to mixing and mastering. I just think ultimately, if you can do all of that, or know the aspects of all of that, that makes you an artist, as opposed to just a rapper, Like, I don't want to be just a rapper. I want to be an artist. I want to be a musician. And I can't be a musician without knowing all of that. Like, I can't really play the guitar, I suck at fucking piano, but the thing is like, I like music and I know music. I didn't really know what bars were, until I started doing more like research of the technical terms. But the thing is that I knew how to count bars, even through just writing, and it's natural sometimes. Like, if you have this passion for it, and it's like, it kind of comes naturally, like, even if you're writing like a short story, if you know the characters, if you know what you're trying to convey, the theme of that story comes naturally. A lot of people get so hung up on writing a song, they're like, oh, well, what's like so, when I give someone a beat to collab with them, they'll be like, oh, hey man, what's what's the theme of the song? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, let me like start writing, and then it's gonna come to me naturally. Like, I don't try to think of something at first. Like, I want to start writing, because that's how, to me, the creativity grows.
Well, yeah, that's art. Like art
Yeah.
should be an expression of yourself in a pure moment.
Yeah.
Like if you have to sit down and you're like, what is sellable or what is marketable or whatever, that's not art. That's a product.
Yeah, exactly. And too many people get just hung up on that right now, and it's just ridiculous because it's like a lot of people are out there like, I mean, being fake. I mean,
Yeah.
they're trying to make money, and it's okay to try to make money, of course, because that's how you make a living. Let's just be real. But the thing is
Yeah.
like, if you don't love what you do, if you don't have a passion for it, then you're not going to succeed and you're not going to make money. I mean, Dave, you got into what you do because you love doing it,
Yeah.
I mean, and that's awesome. That's awesome.
I think that there's a big gap between like, cause there's like, let's say daytime talk shows. There are a lot of people who watch them. There's not any reason to watch them other than to just like fill a house with noise, but they're there.
Yeah.
Like those people serve a purpose. They're not artists. They make a product. They
Yeah.
make a shit show they can
Yeah.
shovel down some fat housewife's throat for 4 hours.
And they hate their jobs probably.
Yeah,
even
probably.
though like most people think like, oh, that dude's on TV, he made it, but a lot
Yeah.
of people like, it doesn't matter. Like even if you're rich, you can
yeah,
still be depressed. There's so many
Yeah.
artists that are like sad and shit like that.
But the point is, the point is that it's not necessarily like the money doesn't need to be there. Like there's always going to be a demand. Like Metallica's a huge band with a huge fan base. Are they like a really deep band that a lot of people, whatever. They're so yeah. Sometimes there are like big, critical and financial successes, but I think most of the time everybody's favorite band is going to be one small independent, or at least started that way.
Yeah.
Because their story, your story is what you're going to sell.
Yeah.
If
And I
you
mean-
don't have a compelling story, you shit out of luck.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I'm literally starting from nothing, right? Like
Like we all are, man. Like we got to start somewhere, so you got to put one foot forward, and here we are.
yeah, and that's the beauty of it is putting your foot out there, being like, understanding that you started from nothing, and even if you make it, still like if I blow up one day, I always want to be able to respect where I came. I mean, that's why I'm playing
Right.
a lot of songs on my older album, because that's where I started. That's where I found my sound. And I don't ever want to forget that, because that's what made you love what you do, is when you started doing it. And a lot of people forget that.
And the second you give that up, you change from making art to making a product.
Yeah.
So here we go, man. So let's listen to that last track. This is called The Divide Between. Do you want to give us a little bit about it before we hear it?
So this song I wrote actually after I had played a game called Death Stranding by Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Death Stranding. It's my favorite game, absolutely.
Okay.
But when I played it, like playing it all the way through the story, there was a lot of themes of family and loss and not being able to get close to people and having to restart relationships based on nothing. Because there was a lot of, in my life, there was a period when I stopped talking to people. I wasn't close with my family. I wasn't in touch.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do my own thing. And the thing is, I thought that made me stronger. But the thing is now I'm being more there for my family. I even with doing my, like, you can do your own thing, but you can be close to people. And
Yeah, you don't have to turn away all help.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to make this song about, is
All right.
especially because there was a lot of people in my life that, like, for the last 2 years, I've had, just so many like friends and family like die. Like my grandfather, who I wrote Dreams of Blue about. My brother died in August. My brother Nick.
Oh my gosh!
And it's so, and then just so this has been happening for a little bit, but I wanted to incorporate that loss and love into this song. And this song is probably the one that I'm the most proud of right now. This is my favorite song that I've made. I love this song. I'm just super proud of it.
I got to commend your attitude about loss, because you can either let it destroy you or you can take it and move on and learn, and because we're all going to experience it. That's the human condition. We all know that we're going to lose something, but we all want to pretend like it's not going to happen, and when it does, then we pretend like it never happened.
Yeah, and there is this line in the song that I love. It's this is you, this is me, a different way to handle the defeat. And I love that line because it speaks to that. Everyone handles defeat or loss in their own way, but it's how you handle it that makes it matter, It's how you take that loss and transform it and try to make it blossom into yourself, that can really make a difference. Because, at first, I didn't really handle loss well. Who does,
Yeah.
But it's you got to try to learn as best you can. And how I learned was through music. That's how I learned. Even with Dreamy ADA, there was a lot of problems with me and my wife. We were fighting. I was fighting with, some of my family. And I was like, I'm just done with it. So I made a song about that, and I wanted her to be in it because it amplified that meaning. I didn't just want her to be in the song to give me her voice. I wanted her to be in the song because it amplified how I felt and how I thought she might be feeling. So
conflict can create great art.
Yeah. And, we grew from that. So when anything that I feel like I write, I feel like I try to grow from. There's a song I'm going to be coming out with this week called This Way and That. And that song is about one of my brothers who I'm not close with at all anymore. We just completely broke ties, and I wanted to be able to write about that, and I did, and and that's how I dealt with it.
That's what art's there for, is to express yourself. But let's go ahead and listen to that song. This is once again The Great Divide by Yattering here. We'll be right after this track.
Close to you because leaving must be the lesson. Don't mention told them that I had to go, trying to prove I might make it on my own. Never said I needed a home, all alone. Disconnect, just to run from what's left. Forget what I said, forget what I said, forget what I said. This is you, this is me, a different way to handle defeat. Life and death is easy to cheat, a haunted past is hard to beat. Let it go, the future will never know what it holds. We were never told, living on a beach, out of range. Now it's you and me connected through a family, separated by branches divided on a tree. That's not what I mean when I say reconnected. I can't get close to you because leaving might be the lesson.
All right, FFOP Radio, we are back with my man Yattering. Yattering, it has been a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much for coming on.
I've been loving it. It's been great. This is the first time I've actually done anything like this, so it's been fucking awesome. It's
It's
so
cool,
great.
right? Even
I love it.
getting to sit down and get questions that are just for you. I feel like it's like almost like a roller coaster ride sometimes, even if they're boring questions.
I mean,
Because
we talked a lot about like promoting. I mean, this is one of the ways right here. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, right now, Dave, I mean, you're helping me with the radio right now. I mean, so I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me on here.
That's part of it. I think what gets lost in the promoting is like we've all seen the promotions where they're like, yeah, my new single, my new blah, my new this, my new that is like coming out, blah blah blah, and you don't really hear about them. Like I don't really connect to artists I don't at least care about on a personal level, and if they show me, something, that makes them human, I'm more interested in that. So I mean,
yeah.
if I can do that and sort of break the mystique for some people so they can get seen, I'm all for it.
I mean, all of the people that I try to like surround myself with, like all of the different artists, I have that same exact like mindset. It's important to try to keep that, like keep an interest that like in the people that like you're surrounding with. You like, like if you don't like that person's music, like then obviously like don't reach out to that person, but like, oh hey, like I want to make a song with you. No, like even like my buddy Resilient, I go connect with him. Like I go out with him and his wife, and we go out and get dinner, because like you should be able to have like some type of connection with like the people that you work with. You don't want to work with people that you can't have some type of connection with.
Yeah. So hit me up with those social media outlets. Yeah,
all right,
obviously we're on Instagram if somebody wants to hit you up there.
Yeah. So that's gonna be Yattering _ and then I'm on YouTube. That's Yattering Official. I'm also on Twitter, which is Yattering _ as well. So please, go follow me for anyone that, like the music or want to check out more what I'm doing. All of the pictures that I make on my Instagram too are all of my own. I do all of my own shoots, edits, and stuff like that. So I try to keep it as like authentic as possible.
That's I like that. Now that's kind of what you got to do. Like I do that for this show too. You and I, we're basically doing the same shit. Like we're out there, taking stills, we're editing, we got audio, video, all this other stuff. So I get you, man. Like
that's why you're a badass, Dave.
You got to pound the pavement out there, man.
Hell yeah, dude! The concrete's real out there. You got to be out there. You got to be out there hitting the pavement sometime. You gotta be, if you don't shed any type of sweat or blood for what you do, then you don't love what you do, and you don't have passion for what you do, If you don't cry a little bit, then you're just not in it.
Yeah, if the thing that you want to do never made you cry, you're not committed.
Yeah, absolutely.
The second that happens, I'll start buying it.
Love and hate just go hand in hand sometimes.
Sometimes. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it. So, if you're listening, all the links to everything you have heard will be in the show notes here. I'll throw all those in there, easy peasy for you.
Go check those out.
Yeah, check him out. Obviously, he's on YouTube as well. So, wherever you can get it, go get it. Because now is the time to find independent music. Because it's going to be a renaissance, man. I'm telling you.
It's blowing up.
All right, man. So, once again, thanks everybody for listening. And we will see you next time on FFOP Radio.
For the try to
Fistful of Podcasts Radio.